Hi, I'm Julie Muir and I'm a full-time celebrant based in Newcastle. I marry all types of people, but I would say that I'm particularly skilled at working with introverts, shy, anxious, or nervous people. Maybe because I'm an introvert myself, and it's a topic I'm super passionate about, and it's not one that often gets discussed in the celebrant world. So I am delighted to share my expertise with you. And I really hope that my insights help you to become a better celebrant. So even though celebrants, oh, not celebrants, even though introverts, even though introverts make up an estimated 25 to 40% of the population, there are still loads of misconceptions about this personality type. You know, introversion indicates one end of the scale and extroversion is obviously on the other end of the scale. And it's also really important to note that introversion is not the same thing as social anxiety or shyness. And so being an introvert doesn't mean that you are socially anxious or shy. But for the purpose of my little talk, I'm going to group all of these particular people together, but obviously I want you to use your common sense in distinguishing which strategies I suggest are going to be suitable for which of your couples. Now, before I get into it, I just wanted to say that I have my notes on the screen behind me to prompt me. So if you see my eyes scanning the screen or fiddling with the mouse, it's just me looking at my notes because I don't want to miss any important points. So the first thing to understand is that weddings can be overwhelming for lots of people. Like even extroverts find some aspects stressful, but it is especially overwhelming for introverted, shy, anxious, or nervous people, as it combines some of their least favorite things in the world: being the center of attention, getting their photo taken repeatedly, engaging in small talk, and having minimal alone time. So basically, a lot of modern wedding traditions are definitely built for extroverts. The first dance, the eyes are all on the couple. Photo shoots are kind of awkward. And even when I think about it, like personalized hashtags, even, they all serve the purpose of making the couple the star of the day. While, that sounds like amazing for some couples, it's important to be mindful that there are lots of introverts and more private people out there who just don't feel comfortable with this level of attention. So the main way for you to support these individuals or couples, so bear in mind it could be one or both of the people you're dealing with, is to remind them that they don't need to conform to tradition, family pressure, or Pinterest. Like with all wedding planning, they need to be encouraged and empowered to plan the wedding ceremony that they want. Eloping is perfect for introverts. So I'd suggest that to them, of course, but in all honesty, by the time they booked you in, they might already be committed to a big wedding. And, that doesn't mean that they can't have an amazing wedding day. They just need to be guided to make sure that the decisions they're making are going to work for them. So firstly, how do you know when you are dealing with an introverted, shy, anxious, or nervous person? I think I need to make an acronym for that. ISAN, ISAN. It doesn't have a great ring to it. Maybe SANI sounds better. Anyway, I'm coining that. Maybe you can help me popularize it. I digress. No, we've all been to those awful first meetings or planning meetings where one person just doesn't say anything. They are torturous. It can feel like that you aren't connecting or that you aren't a good fit. You're bringing all the energy and you're asking them lots of questions and you just aren't getting much back. We've all been there, but celebrants have a tendency to take these things personally. Don't. More than likely, you are dealing with an introverted, shy, or anxious person. So make it your mission to understand them, support them, and guide them through the process. Most of the time, they're actually going to let you know by saying things like, I'm nervous about doing my own vows. I'm nervous about everyone watching me. I don't like being the center of attention. I'm anxious about, X, Y, and Z. I don't like a fuss. So you're going to know. But if you aren't sure who you're dealing with, it's perfectly okay just to ask them. I just say, are either of you introverted, shy, anxious, or nervous? And it normally creates some interesting conversation. And based on their answer to this question, I personally actually change not only how I interact with them, but also what suggestions I make to them. So I'm going to give you 10 strategies now for dealing with these sunny people. Okay. Firstly, you need to adjust your communication approach. Okay. Try not to be too high energy. You need to come down a bit and really meet them where they're at. So don't talk too much. Don't talk too much at them. Try to listen. And as tempting as it is to fill all the silences with words, you don't have to do this. You need to be sensitive to their needs, and you should have the ability to see and meet them where they're at and make them feel comfortable. So generally, I like to focus less on the chit chat, and I try and get to the point quicker. I find that normally works. I still want to build a rapport with them, but I prefer to build the rapport in a much more substantive way. So it's not about rapport building by having a laugh in the first 5 minutes. So the initial chats can feel a bit awkward, but don't worry. If you've done your job properly, by the time the ceremony rolls around, you're going to have built a strong, trusting relationship that's going to calm their nerves on the wedding day. Number 2, you need to reassure them. You need to provide them with a lot of reassurance. The idea of standing up in front of their friends and family for the ceremony is going to feel very uncomfortable for them. So reassure them that as their celebrant, you are going to take a lot of the heat off of them, and this will be music to their ears. Tell them that you're going to be there to engage and entertain their guests. And whether it's true or not, tell them that most eyes will be on you. I would never actually say that to an introverted couple, because that's not what they want to hear. They want to be the stars. But for an introverted couple, they will love that. The couple might be surprised to hear that they can get away with minimal speaking during the ceremony. So as you know, they just have to say the legal vows. So explain that if they don't feel, another thing to explain is that if they don't feel comfortable facing the guests for the whole ceremony, then they can just face each other. Okay, it's not great for the photos, but again, it depends on who you're dealing with and what's best for them. They can just face each other and just pretend like it's the two of them up there. And, in extreme cases, if they really want to take it down a notch, they could even consider sitting during the ceremony. Something to think about. My third strategy is in relation to photos. So the best thing you can do is advise them to have an unplugged ceremony. It's pretty obvious, but banning devices is going to help avoid that paparazzi feel. And you also, I'm sure you'll discuss with them, posting to social media. A lot of these things can help them feel like less nervous if you are helping them control that. The next strategy is about their wedding party size. So they should consider having a very small I do crew, or no bridal party at all, no wedding party at all. It might sound counterintuitive because, a lot of people think that having a big wedding party means that the guests have more people to look at during the ceremony. But generally, a bigger wedding party means a bigger sense of occasion and possibly more fuss and problems to manage, if I'm being honest. So a small crew around the couple will also mean that, the getting ready time of the day won't be so hectic. It's really important that this time before the ceremony should remain calm and not frantic. And, we've all seen it as celebrants when we arrive to get the Don Lim signed, if you're getting it done on the day of the wedding. And you can always tell if things are totally calm or if they're a bit hectic. And that's what we're trying to avoid, the hecticness of it all. So wedding party size definitely influences that. So you should talk to your couple about that. Number 5, the vows. The idea of exchanging vows, makes most people, even those who are pretty good at public speaking, makes them, break out in a cold sweat. There is no doubt that the vows are one of the best parts of the whole ceremony. And the way I see it as a celebrant, I will always try to make everyone laugh and then cry and then laugh and then cry. But most guests really just want to hear what the couple have to say to each other. So initially, even if they're an introverted or shy or nervous couple, I do still push pretty hard to get them to do their own vows, even if I get a bit of resistance. The idea is you're there to support them. So tell them you've got plenty of strategies to coach them through it, including helping them write their own vows and giving them tips for when they're, on how to practice them out loud. But it's really up to you, of course, how far you want to go. Some celebrants provide vow writing kits or give examples from previous couples, that have given them permission to share, of course. And, you might want to direct them to good blogs online about vow writing. Me personally, I review all of my couples' vows and suggest tweaks. And for some, I even offer a vow writing service. Look, whatever way you want to handle it, and just be clear about the level of support that you're going to provide. Now, if the couple or the person is dead set that they don't want to do personalized vows because it's giving them a gut-wrenching feeling, then of course you'll need to respect that. At that point, I normally offer them a workaround where I ask them vow questions instead. So, all they have to say is a simple I do or I will in response to my questions. And normally they might be happier to do that than a big, personalized vows. And of course, the questions can be sweet or funny or a mix of both. The point is that they don't have to talk too much. And for some couples, though, even that's too much for them to contemplate. So as a last resort, maybe suggest that you skip this section in the ceremony. And they could just consider maybe writing their own private letter to their partner instead. Strategy number 6, first look. Well, as you probably know, first looks are such a great idea for anyone who thinks they're going to be nervous on the day. Personally, I've always found it a little bit strange that you don't get to see your partner until normally 3 p.m. on the day of your wedding. What a waste of half a day. But the downside of having the first look is that the walking down the aisle photos, they aren't going to capture the genuine first look. But, who cares if the photographer has captured it earlier in the day, if the couple are going to be more relaxed because of it. What I love about first looks is that they allow the couples to, get out the jitters and the nerves. And the result is that they feel relaxed and they look relaxed during the ceremony. And that is going to make all the ceremony photos better too. A first look can basically really slow everything down and just help avoid anxiety. So I can't recommend it highly enough. Now, strategy number 7, a pre-ceremony meditation. That's right, a good old meditation. You cannot beat it. There's no doubt in my mind that doing a meditation on the morning of the ceremony or before walking down the aisle will help ease the nerves. So if I'm marrying the couple, I actually arrive early. And if I sense the tensions are high or if there's a bit of a frenetic energy, I offer to do a guided meditation with the bride or the groom or whoever's around. And, I'm sure not all celebrants necessarily want to do that. But if you don't want to do that, why not consider just sending the couple a link to a good meditation that they could listen to on the morning of their wedding, to ground them and really bring them back into the moment. Number 8, practice your pep talk. So when you meet both parties before the ceremony, they might be a little bit stressed. So, it's the day they've been carefully planning and patiently waiting for. It's a big day and they're probably excited, but they're almost definitely going to be stressed and nervous. And, they might have even been putting out fires left and right that morning. You just don't know what's been going on. So in your own words, you should remind them that we are here to celebrate love and not to host a flawless event. Soon they're going to get to marry their best friend and nothing could be more awesome than that. Couples are really wanting and needing your reassurance at this point. So even if you are scrambling on the inside because, you got caught up in traffic or you couldn't find your car phone charger or whatever, try and give off an air of confidence and calm. You know, I've done almost 250 weddings and I still get nervous before everyone. You know, I get nervous that my jokes might not land, but mostly I'm just nervous about doing a good job because, you know, I'm a conscientious person. But try to give the impression that you're in control. You know, actually, I should have said it before, but I try to arrive early to all my ceremonies, and then I play a 5-minute guided meditation to help center me. So that's something you might want to consider. Anyway, reassure the couple that they don't need to remember anything during the ceremony, that you will be there whispering to them off microphone if you need to, that there is nothing that they need to do except relax and enjoy the ceremony. And, you know, try to keep at the forefront of their minds that even though all eyes are going to be on them, you know, it's just from people that they love or that love them the most. So, you know, being the focus of everyone's attention can be intimidating, but remind them that the guests love them and they just want to see them happy. Number 9, congratulations post-ceremony. So my advice is to allocate a short time for the congratulations after the ceremony, as this might be one of the most draining parts of the day for introverts. So some couples have even gotten me to mention that they're going straight to the couple shoot and that there'll be plenty of time for congratulations later in the day. Now, maybe there will, or maybe there won't. That's not really the point. The point is that that gets them out of that awkward, you know, 15 minutes to an hour of the guests having to kind of file past them and say the exact same thing. You know, if they do decide to do the congratulations thing, then, you know, even at that point, if it's all getting too much, then they can just ask the photographer to take the group photo, and then that will get things moving swiftly onto the next part of the day and kind of stop the book. Congratulations. And number 10, recharge time after the ceremony. So after the congratulations, I always advise my couples to factor in some recharge time. So they really should identify a quiet and secluded space that they can retreat to so that they can have a break before the next big item on the schedule. And I don't know why, I just thought of it now. So I'm going to add in a bonus number 11, but of course for shy, anxious, nervous, or introverted couples, a rehearsal can massively reduce this anxiety. Look, I know it's annoying to sometimes have to drive an hour to the venue on a Friday night, you know, do your rehearsal and then drive an hour back. But my recommendation is just to charge for the rehearsal, charge for your time, and, you know, offer it to couples if you're willing to do that, because for, you know, those introverted or shy or nervous couples, that's going to make a huge difference to their day. So that's it, my 10/11 ideas for ways to support introverted, shy, anxious, or nervous couples. So hopefully you got something out of that. Feel free to contact me anytime if you're interested in talking more about this topic. Yeah, that's it. Sending love. I hope our paths cross one day. Good luck on your Celebrant journey.